We're going to have the Arbor Day poem readers read their poems again for us so the dignitaries can all hear you. Don't be embarrassed. You guys did an awesome job. Those who spoke to the Selectman last Monday night did an awesome job. You guys are fabulous at this, and your poems are wonderful. I could listen to them all day. Then afterwards we have some dirt here. We're going to put a little bit of dirt around the tree, but before that we have a special dedication today. We're going to dedicate this tree to somebody, and I'll tell you a little bit about that somebody.
It's called Stand Up for Trees. Plant growing into big strong tree, making shadows, lots of shade.
Show them the picture there, Hunter, because you did a graphic poem. Nice job. Turn around, let's show our Selectmen. There you go, okay. The next. Yeah.
Do you hear that chirp in the treetops? That's a bird praying and singing. Do you feel that? It's the wind whispering to you in the forest. Can you feel the dirt under your feet? Can you see the life in the pond? Can you let your stress go? Now open your eyes. See the mess our world is in. The plastic bag that blows in the wind. The very same wind that whispered to you dead silent except for its howl and moan. Do you hear happy chirps? No. The place where you were at, peace destroyed, now just a memory. What happened? I'll tell you what. We forgot to clean. A world does not have trash in just about every corner. Do one thing to make the world healthy again, the way we found it. End it all, save the day, or pollution will be here to stay.
Trees, they're nice to look at in the summer night when there's nothing to do. To the backyard I go and I look all around me, and what do I see? My big, 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 big dependable tree. The summer starts leaving and so do the leaves. It makes me so sad to see them all go. 9 long months pass and finally summer, oh summer, is back at last. I go outside to my backyard to see my big, 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 big dependable tree. But before I know it, I hear a big slash and a big bang on the ground. I run to the backyard and what do I see? Exactly, there's nothing, and oh, where's my tree? I look over, and what do I see? My rude neighbor with a chainsaw in his hand. And I scream, what did you do to my marvelous tree? My big, 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 big dependable tree. No more shade, no one less tree to help us breathe. For all you know, you could have just destroyed a nest, or maybe a home. Why, oh why did you cut down my tree?
The trees. Around winter, spring, summer, and fall, they lose their leaves as winter calls. And on that day, as we all stand on what we call our green land, the trees they call all in all for something to set them free. The trees we waste, we kill, we erase without noticing at all. But you shall see, just listen to me, the trees are more precious than gold. Look around, look outside, the things we take over that nature provides, it helps us live, and we give no in return. Someday the people shall learn. When the trees are gone, then you and me shall be gone for eternity. And when it happens, indeed it would, unless the people became good. Our world, you see, what it should be, not just what it could. So go take action if you feel the need. Our land, you say, belongs to the trees. And on each day as we stand on the trees, beloved land, the world keeps spinning on and on, but soon the trees will all be gone. As they stand tall, now you know what in this world is more precious than gold. Without the trees, now listen please, there will be no you or me. So treat them kind, treat them well, don't trash all paper, remember now. Save the trees, they live for us, don't go throwing them under the bus. Beware, you see, the few little trees only grow since you and me need them for most everything to keep us warm and living. Some think you see as you tower over me. I tell you most have a consequence, keep cutting down for their precious fence. I have no more to say today, but keep the message going your way. Since the trees still live today, please go outside and play. Keep the trees company. And now you know, the precious gold really stays outside when it's cold.
But the Liberty tree stood ground from 1646 to 1775. It was a famous elm tree that stood in Boston, near Boston Common, and that's where we will start our walk on Wednesday. In the years before the American Revolution, then 1776 to 1783, but in 1765, colonists in Boston staged the first act of defiance against the British government, right in front of that Liberty Elm tree in Boston. Today, Boston's old State House Museum displays a part of the flag that flew above the Liberty Tree. We are going to go and stand right in front of the steps of the old State House on Wednesday. It also houses one of the lanterns that decorated the tree when they repealed the Stamp Act, and they had a big celebration about it on March 19th, 1766. So 250 years ago, 251 years ago now. And last August 14th, when it was the 250th anniversary of the Liberty Tree's first protest, several history and activist groups gathered on Washington and Essex Street in Boston carrying lanterns, and we're probably going to walk right by there. And next year, the city of Boston, probably the planning department will probably be helping out with this, they hope to start a construction of an upgraded Liberty Tree Park at that same site. And they want to plant a new elm tree there. So boys and girls, we're one step ahead of them. We're at 250 years and we're planting a Liberty elm tree right in our own town. Isn't that pretty cool? Who thinks that's pretty cool? Thank you. So, and boys and girls, I happen to live on a street called Elm Street, and that has a big significance in the town of Plaistow that we'll learn about next week when we go to the Historic Museum, about how Elm Street was lined with what kind of trees, do you think? Elm trees. And they suffered a horrible disease, and many of those elm trees were killed off in the entire Northeast. And now I'm going to turn it over to Sarah and Brady, and they'll tell you more about that.
The American Liberty Elm. The state tree of both Massachusetts and North Dakota, American elm is a beautiful tree but is subject to getting a serious disease called Dutch elm disease. The good news is that resistant tree strains are starting to improve the American elm situation.
Habitat and range. The American elm is one of the most popular of urban shade trees. The tree was planted along downtown city streets for decades. This tree has major problem with Dutch elm disease and has until now been out of favor when considered for urban tree planting. In North America, American elms attain medium to large tree status and grows to 60 to 80 feet tall. The American elm occupies one of the largest north-south range in America, from Canada to Florida.
So boys and girls, how tall is this tree going to get? Do you hear what she said? How tall, Sarah?
60 to 80 feet tall. 60 to 80 feet.
Well, I think some of these gentlemen standing behind her are about 6 feet. So that would be 10 times that, boys and girls. 10 times, tall, much taller than this telephone pole, right? So boys and girls, someday you're going to come back here, I hope, and look at that tree with your children when it's full grown. Okay, so we're all set with this part. Thank you. Nice job, Brady and Sarah. Thank you.
Okay, today we're going to dedicate the tree to somebody who has worked for Plaistow as a volunteer since the 1980s. That was a long time ago. That was before Mr. Zanello was born.
Me too.
So this gentleman has helped us in every way you can think of. He's been on conservation, he's been on the planning board, he's been on boards throughout the state. He's very knowledgeable and he helps conservation a lot. He protects our wetlands in town. He has always been there for the town no matter what the cause or need. We can always count on him to help us. His name is Mr. Moore.
I've only been here for about 11 weeks, and I've come to know many different people in town that volunteer their time. And when they told me about Mr. Moore having a tree dedication, they told me about his history, about donating his time well over 30 years to the town. So he does it for no cost. He doesn't look for anything in return, and he donates a lot of time to the different committees to be here. So that's the reason why they're having a dedication to him, to thank him for all of his time that he's dedicated to the town. And he'll have a living tree here with a plaque. And he has to come, and I'm sure you'll come back and you'll remember this dedication. So if you would join me, please stand up and welcome Mr. Moore for the dedication. Thank you.
I want to make sure that you kids realize how lucky you are to have this tree dedicated to Mr. Moore. Because Mr. Moore has voluntarily given everyone here part of his life. He does things for you and he gets no pay for it. The other thing that maybe you want to think about is the kind of tree that we have. The elm tree, when I grew up, was everywhere. There were more trees than we knew what to do with. The leaves were, in the fall, were knee-high, but those trees died. Most of them died. And now we're putting in another elm tree. Now, why would we put in another elm tree that is susceptible? You tell me.
Because we want that tree to, like, the species of trees to grow again.
To grow again, because we keep trying. And think about the elm tree. You know, the trees have gone, and just like you, when you fail on a few things, be like an elm tree. Come back, and we're trying to make it better. And the tree will grow, and we hope that it does just like you kids. We hope that you all turn into a big, strong tree, just like Mr. Moore. That's all I got. Thanks, kids.
Yes, I want to iterate the information that Mr. Bracci, Ray, and Mr. Moore was such a great man in the town, and everything he's done for the town, and he continues to do for the town. And I'm really glad that they picked this elm tree. When I first moved to Plaistow, I had 2 beautiful elm trees in my yard. And the last one died about 5 years ago. They were magnificent trees, and I missed them a lot. And hopefully this will be a great elm tree when it gets older. And just glad it was picked. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to give Tim a little present. This is the same gift that we give to the poster winners and the poem winner. It's a t-shirt, and it says, "May the forest be with you."
Ooh, how appropriate.
Okay. And the plaque says, "American Liberty Elm, Arbor Day Celebration 2017, dedicated to Timothy Moore, Plaistow's unsung hero, whose dedication and hard work continue to make a difference in our beautiful town." Thank you, Tim.
Specific. Thanks for the dedication, and I hope as you grow up, you also volunteer, because it's a lot of fun and you get much more out of it than you put into it. So hoping and looking at 80 future Plaistow volunteers. Maybe you'll come back one day and help another 5th grade dedicate an Arbor Day. Thank you.